All right, welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm Loomis here, and I'm pretty excited to get into this new adventure here, Frostpunk 2. This is the beta that has been released today, and uh, there's lots to go over here. First and foremost, it's not the full game demo. We only get the option to preview this Utopia builder preview. Um, which basically just sets up a game for us with a specific population, some materials, and other things. We'll get into that here in a minute. But I've been playing some Frostpunk, the original game, over the last week, just kind of off camera, just kind of getting a feel for how that game works. I have played it years ago in the past when it first came out. Didn't touch any of the expansions or anything like that, but I was able to beat the game on medium difficulty and kind of got my feel for it. And I want to do my best to try to compare what that game was all about versus what they've managed to accomplish in this one. So as we play, we'll kind of get into those details. But for now, let's see what this Utopia Builder preview is all about. Okay, so let's see what we're looking at here. Utopia Builder Preview. Out of the icy apocalypse into a hopeful future, lead the city, survive, grow, expand and prosper. Can you build a world worth living in? Possibly. This preview has limited in scope, no story mode available. The game is a work in progress. Bugs, crashes, and placeholders may appear. Playthrough is capped at 300 weeks. Okay, seems like a lot of weeks, but I'm willing to bet that that's nothing in compared to the scope of the actual game. So we'll see how long it takes us to complete 300 weeks. So from what I'm seeing here is we have an ambition. From what I see, this colonization one is the only one that that's available for us to choose from. So we have to establish a food colony, fuel colony, materials colony, and explore most of the Frostland territories, 50 of them. Seems like a lot. Okay. We can also take a look at some of the ones that aren't unlocked. They're kind of grayed out, so it's kind of showing us that we can't play it, and it also tells us down here on the bottom right that it's not available in this preview. But you can see here that you would have to increase your population to 40,000, do the food, fuel, and materials like in the colonization one, and then you would have to create an abundance of heat of 500. Interesting. We'll have to figure out what that's all about here shortly. We got this population one where you increase the population to 80,000. And establish 2 colonies. Interesting. Prosperity. So we create 1,000 heat, stockpile food, goods, and materials, and provide enough shelter for everyone. Fun. And that seems like that's all there is there. Okay, so we have the ability to choose maps as well. Right here we got Windswept Peaks. Are we able to choose any other ones? Nope. This one's unavailable in the preview. Same with Fractured Gorge, but it kind of gives us a description of what they are. Initial plans aim to use the nearby body of water for fishing, but it froze solid during the Great Storm. However, there's still access to a vast frozen forest in the area. Then we have Fractured Gorge as well. It looks like 2 of them are selected here for some reason. The frost disfigured this area, but it was chosen for easy access to geothermal energy. It lacks other fuels though, not available in this preview. Got it. Oh, and then there's Horizon. The variety of key resources in the area outweighed the dangers of being placed in the open plains of the Frostland. Not available in the preview either. So, what we're gonna have to do is start with the Windswept Peaks. Looks like you have the ability to choose your communities. So we have machinists and foragers here. Okay, I think it's going to be the same thing where just the first option is available for us. But we also have workers and merchants, lords and thinkers, and random. So I guess it would just choose one of the previous 3 for you, or maybe, you know, a mishmash of either or. And then we have difficulty presets. We have easy, extremes not available in this preview. We have hard, medium, and easy that we can play with. You know, I'm gonna go with medium because, you know, I don't like taking the easy path, and I also don't like to punish myself. So let's go ahead and begin. See what this is all about here. How exciting. Oh, that was creepy. There are no seasons anymore. Oh, I was trying to read that. Press space to begin. Ooh. A new beginning. The end of the world changes people. It changed us. Us, the foragers, natural survivalists adapted to harsh frostland conditions. The machinists, descendants of groups that built the initial cities and maintained their machinery. We chose you as our steward, to lead the city as overpopulation looms and resources dwindle. We all dream of a better future. What it should look like? This we can't agree on. Tension stirs and radicals near their heads. Navigating this will be your ultimate challenge. Notice, this preview of Utopia Builder mode is capped at 300 weeks. Yep. The city must not fall. Ooh. Windswept Peaks. Now, this looks nice so far. Okay. We're being presented with some kind of pre-built city type thing going on. Coal is running out. We have grown numerous over the years and waited too long to strike out. Our coal stockpiles are nearly depleted. We have colonies. We have to colonize the Frostland. But first, we located some coal deposits in rough terrain around the city. We must send frost-breaking new crews to access them. I said news, like they're gonna send out news. Weird. We need more coal. Okay. Let's pause real quick and take a look at the user interface and kind of familiarize ourselves with it. Okay, so we have our standard pause, play, fast speed 2 and speed 3. Looks like we have our mission objectives up here on the top left. Our weeks, days, and the date. It's 1916. It's a long time ago. We have our heat stamps. Income is plus 11 per week from population 11. 14.8 from population size, and negative 3.8 from unmet demand for goods. And we can right click for more information. Meeting the demand for goods, as well as certain laws and buildings, can improve heat stamps incomes. Ooh, good to know. So we want to make sure that our goods, whatever they may be, are in good standing. We have cores, which we are not gaining any of these per week at the moment. Cores are the specialized mechanical components required to construct advanced buildings and generator upgrades. Cores are too advanced to reliably manufacture. Search the Frostland to find them. Okay, so we had cores in Frostpunk, the original Frostpunk. So we know that those are kind of valuable to make sure you can create higher technology items. Okay, and this one, this is new. We have a workforce available to us. I guess that's similar to the amount of people that you have in your city. So it's actually saying that the workforce is 60% of our population. So, okay, so we have a population of 8,000 people, and 60% of those, which is 4,800, is our workforce. So we need to figure out how to grow our population to grow our workforce. Next, we have our heat, which, of course, we have heat in this game because we want to make sure everybody's happy and warm. See, we got a heat surplus. Available is 70. Demand is 70. Output is 70. Right click for more information. Provides the warmth the city and its people need to operate. Increase cold when lacking. Lower temperature, increase heat demand. The generator converts fuel such as cool to heat. Consider upgrading it to tap different sources, and produce more. Okay, shelter. That's typical in this game. We want to make sure everybody has enough shelter. Right now, we have 121 for the demand. Fulfilled, 90. Unfulfilled, 31. So it's basically saying that we have 31 people that need some homes. Living space available to your citizens increases cold when lacking. Building housing, pass laws, or construct buildings that provide shelter to ensure people have a roof over their heads. Seems normal. Of course, we need food. That food was in the original Frostpunk, so we're gonna need it in this one as well. Demand is 160, output is 160. We have a stockpile of 49,860 out of 30,000. And it says it will last for 50 weeks. All sources of nourishment. A failure to meet the demand for food will cause hunger to grow. Build food districts, find food sources in the Frostland, conduct research, and pass laws to keep famine at bay. So we have to create districts to acquire food. It's not the fact that we have like huts and stuff, cookhouses. So in the original Frostpunk, we had like Hunter's Bay. So hunters would go out at night and go grab your food, bring it back, and then you would have buildings that would cook them. So it sounds like in this one is that we create a district to go gather the food. And then we have materials. Demand is 0, output is 0. We have a little bit of a stockpile. Not really sure what these are needed for. Let's see here. Process resources used for industry and maintenance. Without them, the harsh conditions will deteriorate our infrastructure and increase squalor. To increase material output, extract them from frozen forests or iron ore. Chart the Frostland or pass laws. Okay, so we need to find forests and such. And then we have goods. We learned that goods, if we have more of them, they make our people happy. Let's see, we have 15, and then, oh, sorry. We have 41 demand, 26 unfulfilled, and 15 output from the central district. The objects necessary for everyday life. Failure to meet the demand for them causes crime to rise and reduces heat stamps income. Okay, so we gain heat stamps with our goods and people, I believe. Objects, okay, blah, 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 blah. Produce goods in industrial districts and buildings or pass laws to make them more available. Produce goods, okay, industrial districts and buildings. Interesting. Okay, here's our coal production. This seems like it would be similar to maybe our food production, so we'd probably have to create some kind of district to grab coal. So we got 70 for requirements and 70 output. And 0 available. We're spending 70 per 1 day. Will last 20 weeks. Okay. I wonder how fast these weeks actually go. And guard squads? We got available 12 guard squads from the central district. Units of law enforcement officers whom the city employs to maintain order. They help to reduce crime and can stifle unrest. Construct buildings, pass laws, and produce arms to increase your guard squad's number and strength. Okay, and then over here we have our typical bar that shows when it's gonna get colder or warmer, and a whiteout. Okay. Press F to focus on our city. Yes, yes. All right, let's take a look at these guys. So we got machinists. And we got foragers as well. So, looks like you would need to kind of please both of these communities. And I'm assuming, based on the videos that I saw about this game, I believe these guys would vote for certain laws to pass. And would also imagine that tension could grow between them and cause little fights that would disrupt your city as well. Okay. I think we can start looking at how we can go about accessing a coal deposit using frost breakers. We got this little icon down here that's blinking at us that we want to take a look at. Okay. So when we click on that, it's kind of showing us all of these different icons here. And a yellow border around our area here. Interesting. So we have coal here. Oh, we have to break through the frost to get to our coal. That's different than the original game. So before, you would have to just send people out to go gather the resources. So we got coal, I believe. It looks like it's the coal symbol. This is the, I believe it was the materials symbol. Ah, yes, materials. We got materials here. We got something else here. I'm not really sure what that is. And more materials over here. And then we have food up here. Cool. And more coal up this way. So, looks like we can frost break a path to our coal here. And there's a little ring around where it says frost breaking, where you have to frost break that amount, like the circle has. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you have to do 8 of them. So we did 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's do actually these 3 over here. Okay, so it's going to start. Let's go ahead and press play. It's gonna go ahead and start taking its time to break down the ice here. And then I believe this first little guy here will be done. And then we can construct an extraction district on a coal deposit. Interesting. So, okay, so we got districts here. Housing district, food district, extraction district, and industrial districts. Let's see what these are all about while our stuff is frost breaking. Let's see. Construction, 600 workforce, 120 heat stamps. Let's go ahead and pause while we read through these real quick. 600 workforce, 120 heat stamps. We have 832 heat stamps. And plenty of workforce right now. Demand is going to cost 50 materials. We have no materials at all. And 20 outputs, 20 goods. Okay. We know we need goods to make sure people are happy, keeps crime down. Now we got our construction extraction district, which again, 600 workforce, 100 heat stamps. Requires 600 workforce. Doesn't require any materials, but it demands materials. So interesting. So it has 50 material demand, but it outputs 150 materials. 120 coal and 200 materials. That's weird. Why wouldn't they just say that it outputs 350 materials? That might be something that needs to be corrected by the time the game fully releases. But we got the food districts here as well. Demands 50 materials, 40 heat. Okay. And outputs 60 food. Then our housing district. We're gonna have to add a housing district. So it outputs 20 shelter. And we need 31. So we need to create 2 housing districts in order to satisfy our homeless people. But first, let's go ahead and create an extraction district up here. So we can go ahead and... Okay, so that one actually took 6 spaces to create. And now that's going to start loading. Building. Having a fun time. Oh, sweet. Okay, now this other guy is yelling at me here. I don't know why it's yelling at me, but it is. Oh, because it wanted us to create the district. Okay, what is this? So we have a hub here. What does this do exactly? 50 workforce, 80 heat stamps, and requires 50 workforce. Demands 20 materials. Proximity. Workforce requirement in neighboring districts is decreased. Reduces workforce requirements in all neighboring districts. Wonder how close the districts actually need to be. Can we actually build this? Where does it go? Can we just populate it here? Here? No? Oh. Interesting. So we were able to put it there. Do we need to build 2 of them in order for them to share access? Like, blah, 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 blah. They just fly stuff back and forth between here and here. Requires less people to work back and forth. This is interesting. Very different than Frostpunk 1. Because, 1, you don't see the little people running around. You got like these strange robots that build paths between these like cities out here that you build just to do exporting. Shelter from cold. Good, we secured a new resource of coal for the generator. But now we need shelter. Without it, people will still freeze to death, regardless of how hot the generator runs. The closer to the generator or other shelter, the better. We cannot afford to lose more heat than we have to. Okay, so we have to provide shelter, but basically what this just said is shelter that's next to other shelter keeps the shelters warm? Right? Am I reading that correctly? The closer to the generator or other shelter, the better. Okay. That sounds accurate. So we need to build a housing district. And we have a lot of space out this way. So I think I'm going to build it on this side, I guess. But there's a lot... But I feel like if I build over here, it's going to be closer to the generator. Let's see. Let's see what we can do. Housing district. Okay, so we got these hexagons that show up here. Are these also housing districts as well? Like, would it be a good idea to just... I think I'm going to start over here and just kind of build around this way a little bit. So you got to do 6, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. I think that's a nice tidy ring addition to the ring. Okay. So now we got our transport hubs being built, which is going to require this place to use less of a workforce. All right. We got something yelling at us now. Let's see what we've got. Security for the future. Steward, we are extracting more coal than we currently need to provide adequate heat to the city. As such, we have begun to stockpile the surplus. At the moment, we have ample storage space left. However, this space will eventually be filled and any additional coal will be left out in the elements, rendering it worthless. If we do not wish to lose the surplus, we should build more depots. There are different types of depots for various resources. You can construct them in any district that have empty building space. So, how do we add extra space to a district? Okay, so we can actually click on the district. You can see that it requires 600 workforce. I'm wondering if that actually will go down once these transport hubs are finished building as well. There's no empty building slots. Oh, expand the district for 50 heat stamps. We have 529. Extend the district output and provide more building slots. Okay, so that's how you create additional building slots. So boom. Okay, it looks like you have to do 3. And you have to put them together as well. Interesting. So it's starting to creep into the city a little bit. I wasn't wanting that. Looming cold. As the cold problem in our city continues to worsen, we must take action to protect our citizens. In these harsh conditions, people need a roof over their heads and enough heat to warm their homes. Is the generator powerful enough to heat the city? Or do we need to extract more fuel? If our current methods aren't enough, we should consider alternatives. Cold has risen to a concerning level. Okay. Okay, we need to construct another housing district. So let's create another one over here on the outskirts. Okay, now that's going. Looks like the first one's also still building quite a bit. So we'll let those go. We got our additional spots over here as well that are building. So we'll go ahead and let this one finish, which it just did. So it's got 2 empty building slots. Interesting. Ah, look at this. Okay. So we have a food depot, fuel depot, goods depot, and a materials depot. And I think we need the materials depot to stockpile coal. And it's saying that it just needs to go here. So we'll go ahead and put that there. And we can see now that it is upgrading this district to add the fuel depot. So now we won't go over our stockpile, even though we probably didn't really even need that, because our coal isn't even close to being at 30,000, but it is going up. So hopefully once it gets maxed out at 30,000, then we can start saving it up. Okay, it looks like one of our housing districts did finish, and our second one is about to be done. Alright, scraping the barrel. With the heat from the generator and shelter for everyone, we're safe from the cold for now. But as the city grows, it will not be enough. The machinists and foragers have different opinions on how to improve the city future further. We need a place to develop ideas for the future. Expand a housing district to provide more space for advanced buildings, and build a research institute. Okay. So, we need to come down here, I believe. Into housing. Now we have the ability to build a research institute. Okay, and this research institute is going to be similar to a workshop, I believe, that we had in Frostpunk 1 that's going to allow us to do some research. It says the output is plus 15% research speed, so I think that I'm wondering if it's plus 15% for every research institute that you have. It requires 400 workforce, which we have that. But I'm wondering, yeah, if it's going to do plus 15% for each housing district that you put one of these in. But you have to expand your housing districts to be able to place one of these. Similar to how we did with the coal. So let's go ahead and expand this guy here. Let's go 1, 2, 3. So now that'll expand. We could do a research district once that is done. So let's get that completed, and then we'll move on to our next task. Hopefully it'll start showing us what we need to do as far as getting some goods completed. Which I think all we have to do is create some kind of industrial district. And I believe that we just need to plop that down probably around here or over yonder. We could probably start breaking the frost over here. Oh, we got our housing district expanded. So we could go ahead and put a research institute in here. Perfect. So now we're upgrading. We'll have our research institute here, and we will be able to research coal mines. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, so when we do frost breaking, is it costing us resources to do this? Or it's just, okay, you just do it? So I'm gonna start frost breaking over towards these materials here. And then we can start creating our industrial district around this area. A way station. Old way station. Ruins of an old way station, battered down during the whiteout years. Build a logistics district here to access the Frostland. Oh, okay. I'm sure we'll get to that soon enough. Okay. Our research facility has completed. Let's see what we got. Different ideas, communities. A small crowd gathers outside of the new research institute, arguing how to exploit the last coal veins. The machinists want us to lean on machine-powered mining, but foragers would have us pursue a more frugal solution. They would never display such discord in the captain's heyday. You have to choose who to entrust with developing their ideas. The communities of the city have different perspectives. You may not be able to please everyone. Okay, let's see our options. Idea tree. We need new ideas to move forward. However, different communities may propose diverging answers to the same issue. They will only pursue solutions that align with their worldview. Choosing a community to develop an idea will improve your relations with that community. Ah, interesting. So you want to try to like not sway on one side or the other, I'm thinking. Okay, let's see what we got here. I know that we need to go do coal mines. What is this here? Adaptation, survival, progress, survival. Okay, we will build machines to carve our place in ice. We will improve ourselves with technology. We will rip resources from the frozen earth to sustain everyone. We will bend nature to our will, and we will thrive. Fighting against the cold is futile. We will not give into the hubris of machines. The frost will make steel brittle. We will adapt, even if it means sacrifices. Interesting. Okay, let's look at coal mines. Okay, so looks like how we... Okay, let's take a look. Okay, so we gotta choose between adaptation and progress. One or the other here. See, the foragers are neutral and they're 51% of the city. And then the machinists are neutral as well. They're 49% of the city. Let's see here. Grinding coal mine requires an extraction district with a coal deposit. Operation using grinding machines to churn through the coal seems quickly, leaving heaps of slag behind. 300 workforce requirement, 180 coal output. Squalor, which is the filth, grime, and pollution present in the city. It is produced by the generator. Heavy machinery and poor sanitation. Squalor increases sickness, slows population growth, and wears down districts. Okay, so it seems like you would end up having to heal your workforce and your people. Maybe have more absentees if you went this route. Mining operation where residue coal dust is sucked up and compressed into briquettes to make maximum use of the resource. 400 workforce requirement, 150 coal output, which is about 30 less than the other guys, and requires more workforce. Disease is slightly increased. The likelihood people in your city will get sick, increasing as their bodies are worn down by the cold or difficult work conditions. 20 materials demand. How much materials did the other one require? 60. Woo! So far, yes, this one requires more workforce and doesn't output as much, but oh man. I do like the fact that this one doesn't require as much materials. And we don't have a lot of materials to start off with, so I think I'm going to go with the forgers. Let's go ahead and develop the idea. So I think this... Okay. This is showing that there's 14 weeks and 5 days left for them to research the coal mines. And what I think is... if we happen to expand this and maybe put another research institute in, this will go down quicker, hopefully. Okay, so we have now begun the process to research coal mines. Construct the newly researched building in an extraction district. Wow, I just realized how many weeks we've gone through already, and we've barely just begun. 25 weeks. Wow. So yeah, this is gonna go fairly quick. There's a cap of 300 weeks in this beta, so 24 sick people have recovered and returned to work in the city. Well, that's good. What is this up here? Cold, absent, stable. Hunger, absent, stable. Squalor, disease, crime. Extremely increased by goods scarcity. Decreased by guard squads. So we need to increase our goods. And I think the way that we do that is to create an industrial district. So let's see about doing that. I thought we could do it over here, but I think I need to do a little bit more frost breaking. So let's frost break, break, break. So we got 3 exposed areas here now. We could create a nice chunky district. But we've run out of heat stamps. We have 86 and it requires 100. Okay, so we'll just kind of wait for this to frost break. We'll gather more heat stamps. One thing I wanted to check is I built these hubs. So it said if you build these, it reduces the workforce in the neighboring districts. So believe these were like 600. Okay, now it is 500 because now we got plus 200 from air transport. Negative 100 from fuel depot. Oh no, it's just saying 100 from fuel depot. Okay. Got it. So since we put that fuel depot in there, it added to the workforce. So we still have 3,400 workforce available to us. So that's good. Our coal mines still have 8 weeks left. And we should be able to now... I'm on the wrong tab. But I'm thinking I should be able to do another research district to increase the research by another 15% speed. So each house district that we have, we could put a research facility here. And how much workforce does that require? I did not even pay attention to it. Where did it go? Requires 200 workforce and 100 heat stamps. Okay, interesting. So what I want to do now is try to save up some more heat stamps so we can start working on... Actually, probably need to save them up so we can construct the newly researched building for this extraction district. So why don't we just go ahead and speed up time until our research is done. Da, 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 da. 2 weeks left. It's almost done. There we go. Now we got our dust coal mine, which was the new building that was proposed by the our foragers. This is going to require 20 materials. Disease is slightly increased, but it's going to output 150 coal. Okay, let's go ahead and set that on here. We're just going to satisfy this little mission that we've got. So we are still low on our heat stamps. Still only generating 11 per week from our population. Our population progress is 55%, so we're still growing, I believe. Our workforce is quite limited. Our food is going down. Our material surplus is going down, which is not good. So we're going to have to figure out how to get food after we make this next upgrade. Whoop. All right, so we got something new here. A place to settle differences. With the new mine, we have enough coal output to last us a while. Yet differences between communities remain. Even under the previous leader, plans have existed to establish a council to settle such differences. More pressing problems always delayed them. The time has come, steward. The people want a say in how the city is run. Okay, so we need a council. Interesting. So we have to look at building a council now. Central. We don't have the heat stamps. Let's go ahead and fast forward till we get the required heat stamps, which was 80. Okay, so we got those. And we can just place this in the middle of the city. And what exactly does the council do? Let's actually go. Where the heck was it? We lost it. Okay. Oh, it's still being built, so maybe we'll figure that out. There's also the help tips here, which will kind of help us figure out things as we go along as well. I don't see anything here about council either. We'll figure it out once this thing's built for us. Okay. It allows us to enact new laws, kind of like how the first Frostpunk did it. We we're able to decide on different laws that would govern our whole city. But in this one, the people vote on them, which is pretty intriguing to me. We'll have to figure out how all that works as well. Our research institute is also idle. We might want to look at researching something else. Let's see what else we got here. We got sawmills, which is going to create massive sawmill in which frozen wood is cut into usable materials without undergoing any treatment, speeding up the process but exposing people to mold spores and fungi. That doesn't sound good. We don't like disease. And the last upgrade that I did, I chose forager, so it might be time to actually choose machinists, for the next upgrade that we choose. So this one says massive sawmill loading frozen wood directly into mulching machines that separate usable materials from waste byproducts. 300 workforce, 200 materials output. I don't know if we're ready for sawmills, to be honest. I was just kind of taking a look at it. Hothouses. Ooh, we do need food, so this might be what we need to do here. Let's see. Oop, accidentally clicked off of it. Let's go ahead and we'll see what the machinists say. Requires food district. We don't have a food district yet. Industrial size hothouse where chemical nutrients are injected into tubs of crops to accelerate their growth. Some GMOs. 300 workforce requirement, 60 food output. Squalor is slightly increased. And it has a 40 heat demand. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and... Oh, I can't afford the research. What does it need? It needs whatever this symbol is. I think that is goods. What symbol is that exactly? Oh, heat stamps. We need 50 heat stamps to be able to do research. Interesting. Okay, so you can't just go in there and do whatever research that you want. Let's see what these people are saying. We got our first council session. People cheer as the gates of the council open. It feels like a piece of the world lost to the frost has been regained. The people are hopeful to have their voices heard. While the machinists and foragers clash about our survival strategy, neither has a firm stance on economic or social issues. However, many in their ranks do, though they keep to the shadows for now. To pass any law in the council, you will need the majority of delegates to support it. Okay, let's go ahead and open the session. Ooh, fun. The voting has begun. Let's see what we get to do here. The council. People of the city sent 100 delegates to represent them. Your role as steward is to propose laws that will be put to a vote. However, communities have different outlook on many things. You may have to negotiate or pressure them to get enough support. Oh, we get to persuade them. Okay, so we got survival, we got economy, and society. Let's see what survival's all about. We got resources, frostland, and efficiency. We could do food additives, which I believe that's pretty similar to in Frostpunk, where you chose soup or adding sawdust to the food but made people sick. There are no established standards for which additives can be put in food in times of need. Okay. So alternative policies would be food output per capita is slightly increased. And then we have chemical additives. Food production efficiency is significantly increased, but disease is marginally increased. Okay. Got economy, welfare, citizenship, and labor. Basic necessities, outsiders. Let's go ahead and read through these real quick. Basic necessities are customarily provided without compensation, but practices can differ from place to place. Contagion prevention. We have no agreed upon way to handle contagious people. We can do infection badges. Okay. And supported quarantine. I think quarantine is probably uh, a better way, a better non-judgmental way to handle the situation. But it's gonna say shelter availability per capita is slightly decreased, which means you would have to build more homes. Cool. But let's take a look at citizenship here. There are no clear rules about who can settle in the city. We have an alternative which says allow productive outsiders. Population growth is increased. Heat stamps income per capita is marginally increased. And then we can accept all outsiders. Population growth is really increased. Interesting. There's so many different options, and we can't even choose anything in labor. And then we also have society, funerals. We can choose childhood rules, kind of like in Frostpunk 1. Okay, we can. Let's go ahead and check this out real quick, because usually this is one of the first things that you do. Enforced, no common rules. There are no rules that define who is responsible for the care and education of children. Some are well cared for, while others are neglected. No effects. So we have family apprenticeship. All children must work alongside one of their relatives so that they learn their trade and continue the family tradition. Okay? It's showing that people are divided on this. So 70 hesitant, 36 of 51 foragers, and 34 of 49 machinists. So it seems like to me the foragers are more for this than the machinists. And then we got mandatory school, which guarantees that all children have the skills and knowledge needed in the city. We will establish a mandatory school program supported by the city. Research speed is slightly increased. Heat stamps income per capita is slightly decreased. Ooh. Okay, so this first one, we're going to lose workforce, which we're starting to dwindle on our workforce. But this one, we would end up losing. We would end up losing our heat stamp production, which I would hope that we'd be able to generate more of that later. I'd rather the kids have more knowledge. I think that would build more trust from our communities as well. So let's go ahead and try to vote for this. So we got 20 over here. We got 10 that are against it. I don't know how many votes you actually need to pass. What happens if you negotiate? What's going on here? Negotiate with the foragers, or you can negotiate with the machinists. Okay. And what does that require for us to negotiate? Oh, okay. So it makes you choose a side, I guess. Let's just go ahead and try to vote and see what happens here. So we need 51 to be able to pass. Okay. Okay, 57. Oh, I see. Into the future. The new law has been agreed on. Good. There are challenges ahead. Improving coal extraction is a success, but the vein will only last so long. We need to explore the Frostland for a permanent source of fuel. That's the first step in our colonization effort. If we don't take it, the city will have no future at all. This concludes the onboarding tasks in this preview. Remember, you can always consult the tutorial. Okay. Right. So I'm going to pause here for a second, because I think that our next objective is going to be figuring out how we can start gathering materials, because we have none, which we started carving a path over here to our frozen forest, which has plenty of materials here. We can go ahead and put an industrial district. We need 120 heat stamps, which we don't have yet. We need to establish food, fuel, and materials. Materials is the one I was just talking about. And then we can find a new source of fuel. Okay. But food colony, we saw food right up here. So we might want to start frost breaking so we can go up here and start our first food colony. So let's go ahead and get our frost break out and start working up this way. What is this? Oh, that's another material type. So let's go boom, boom, boom. Let's just go ahead and let's expand so we have both of these available. And we have one more. Cool. Let's go ahead and start and let that finish, and let's figure out what this guy here wants from us. Okay, stockpiles depleted. Steward, our initial stockpiles of materials have run out. Our current output will satisfy some of the demand, but problems will mount over time. We must expand our districts or establish new ones to provide more supply. Otherwise, the city and us will suffer. Expand or build new districts to get more materials. I see. Well, we can't do that because we definitely don't have enough heat stamps. I do want to remind myself how we generate more heat stamps because I can't remember off the top of my head. I thought it was just based off the population. Heat stamps are a stockpile resource that can be spent on frost breaking, constructing districts or buildings when using specific actions. A city collects heat stamps weekly. Every community provides its share depending on its size. The bigger the community, the more they contribute. Heat stamps income can be increased by satisfying goods demand. Oh. It can also be modified by certain laws and buildings. Okay. Okay, so we need to increase our goods so we can increase our heat stamp generation. I believe that's what I was seeing. But first, these people need some food, so we're definitely doing what we can to try to get to this fertile ground here and to create our first food district, or food colony, I guess you would call it. I don't know, something like that. Okay, frost breaking is complete. Let's see if we have what we need. We do not. We need 100 heat stamps. We only have 28. Let's fast forward until we have 100 heat stamps. Almost there. Got somebody else yelling at us. Let's see what they want. Rex Dale, 45. He's an entrepreneur. Profitable day. First couple were all rags and bones, useless, but then there was this woman with real ruby earrings. Ought to cover the arrival fee. I said, the wife will love those. Next was a bunch of strong fellas. I sent them straight to Elaine's place. Maybe word's getting around. Got to take advantage while it lasts. The lack of law regulating outsiders is decreasing population growth. Interesting. So we need to propose a new law to keep the outsiders away. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see. This is not what I wanted, actually. Oh, the council is this one with the judge's hammer. Oh, we can do another one in about 2 weeks. So yeah, we'll wait on that. Let's go ahead and get our 100 heat stamps so we can create our food district. We'll start it up here. Bop bop. Ooh. We don't want to do it there because that's where the the other guy was, right? The iron ore. There's quite a bit of iron ore there too. 3,360,000. Seems like a lot. Okay. Yeah, this game is quite a bit different than the original. Uh it's interesting. It's keeping my attention for sure. I like the progression that they have here. I like the fun little robots that they got flying around as well. It's unique for sure. We'll see how exciting it is towards the 300 week mark and how difficult it is. Like, there's definitely things that I'll be missing from Frostpunk 1, but I still have that in my Steam library in case I want to play it. But this is a new twist on it, and I'm definitely intrigued. And if you guys are feeling intrigued as well, you know, make sure to give me a thumbs up to let me know if I should continue making more episodes on this or play it in the future when the full game releases. Let's go ahead and speed this up and get this food district completed. Ah, looks like our temperature is dropping. Okay, so people are gonna get cold. Okay, whoa, okay. Pause for a second. I'm noticing some different stuff up here in the top. So we're having some issues with hunger right now. It's extremely increased by food scarcity, which is, it's good that we decided to upgrade and build our food district here. Squalor is minor, growing, extremely increased by material scarcity. So it is going to be a good idea for us to start getting some materials inbound. But we're definitely going to need to get our heat stamps up as well. But we're well on our way to getting that figured out. We do need to propose a new law. Let's go ahead and go with society, I think. No. Back. Survival? There was one law that I saw about outsiders. Yes. We wanted to set a law for outsiders so we can make sure to govern them better. So our population is not decreased. Now we have the option to choose all productive outsiders, which is gonna increase our population growth. Heat stamps income is gonna be increased, and then we could accept all outsiders, which will welcome all who wish to join our city and share in its benefits regardless of their ability to contribute. I think that is kind of dumb to do that, especially when this other one provides a lot more benefits. So let's go ahead and propose this law and vote on it. Come on, give me 51 votes, please. Almost there? Yep, there we go. Perfect.
The measure passes.
I see. So now we're gonna gain more heat stamps, I believe. Right now it's not showing it. We're still at 11. Our workforce is 2,000. We're gonna have to get some of those 2,000 working in an industrial district. So let's go ahead and move over here. I like how you can actually tilt the camera as well. That's interesting. I don't think you could do that in the first one. Okay, we need 120 to be able to create this district. Let's speed up until we get 120 heat stamps here. Okay, almost there. One more week. There we go. Perfect. Now we can build our industrial district. Let's go ahead and start here. Wait. Do I need to frost break still? Are these... Oh, these are extraction areas. I thought we put these on those. Where the heck do these go? Do we just build the industrial district anywhere? Maybe we build it over here. Okay. And then hopefully those will start bringing in goods. Let's go ahead. Okay, we can't put any more districts down until we get more heat stamps. And I also thought that we were getting more heat stamps when we changed that law. But maybe we need more house districts to allow the population to grow better. But we can't do that without the heat stamps. That's a bummer. We're kind of a little stuck. Let's actually do a little bit of research, which we can't do because we have no heat stamps. What the heck? So we kind of just got to ride this out here until we were able to get more heat stamps. So let's just go ahead and fast forward. Let's get some more heat stamps going. Let our industrial district develop. Ah, we got more people. 1,598 more people live among us. Still have the same amount of heat stamp income. Let's see what these guys are wanting here. Steward, with hunger becoming a pressing concern, you must find practical solutions to address the growing food shortage and ensure our people are fed. We either can think about improving methods of growing food in the city or look for more resources of it. Exploring new territories can enhance our possibilities in that matter. Hunger has risen to a concerning level. Build food districts, research buildings, or search the Frostland to fight it. Okay. So that's what we're trying to do. We want to research our hothouses when we have the chance. Okay. Which we should now. And we decided that we were going to go for more the machinist route on this one. So let's go ahead and develop the idea. Let that research. We have the ability to research another law as well. Let's see what we got. So food. So we're struggling with food right now. So we have food additives, which is going to increase our food output per capita. And then we have chemical additives, which is going to cause disease. I think we should go with the additives for now. Let's go ahead and propose and vote. Okay, come on. Give me 51. There we go. Now, that means that everybody, or mostly the majority, doesn't mind if we have crappy food. Steward, a new count has revealed significant growth in our population in recent weeks. Some attribute the rise to an influx of settlers from the Frostland. Others to births outnumbering deaths. Whatever the cause, we have adjusted our calculations of the city's needs to reflect the new numbers. Okay. Cool. Yes, we got more people, still same heat stamps for some reason or another. We got our food colony going. We have our industrial district, which has unmet demands. It requires materials, and materials come from comes from extraction districts. So I'm gonna have to put extraction districts over here when we have the chance, which is going to require 600 workforce and 120 heat stamps. Let's go ahead and fast forward till we have 120 heat stamps. We will get materials. Yes. Because we're not getting materials right now. Okay. Extraction district. We got 2 that are together here. 3, 4, 5, 6. Cool. We were able to acquire all of the posts. So that's good. We can let that go ahead and build. We'll start getting materials, and then our industrial area will start outputting goods. Great. And then as soon as this finishes in 5 days... Oh no, we already passed the law. So food should be better now, right? But I think what we're going to want to do is expand this district so we could actually do some... A food depot, maybe? No, we don't want to do that. How do we get more food is the question. When we upgrade our hothouses. Yes. Yes, that's what we need to do. Let's see what this guy's yelling about. William Hoff, 37, Hunter. A new voice. Ice Bloods. I doubted we would sustain ourselves off this harsh land, yet here bellies are filled from foraging. I doubted this world could still reward competence, but they recognized my worth and granted me entrance. This made me realize what the city can become. The times of mere survival are gone. We must organize. A brighter tomorrow is within our reach. Ice Bloods formed in support of foraged additives and allow productive outsiders. Okay. Interesting. So we got a new community here. Ice Bloods, they are neutral. Hardened survivalists, they recruit from the most resilient and capable individuals in the city. This is their manifest. Adaptation. It's a harsh world and only the fittest survive. We must embrace adaptation, fostering resilience in the face of adversity. Resourcefulness should be rewarded. We must praise personal achievement and reward individual merit. We preserve because we honor tradition. This is how we should build our society. They want community service, expedition support. They want infection badge, which is not what I was wanting. And then they want family apprenticeship. So we already passed the childhood law. So they're a little bit late to the party, so they're not going to get exactly what they want. The Ice Bloods, they are 6% of the population. Foragers are 45%, and machinists are 49%. Let's see, are we now acquiring goods? No, we're not. I mean, materials. So we should start seeing materials rising once this is built, which we do. We now have 260 demand with 150 output, 160 unfulfilled. So we're going to have to build more extractions, which we saw those right over here. We got frozen forests up on this ridge and here as well. So we're gonna have to expand out this way to make sure that we can fulfill our needs. We now see that our goods are rising as well, which is awesome. And our research on our hothouses have completed. So we should be able to see here. We got a chemical drum hothouse, which looks like we can go ahead and build that now. It's saying that squalor is going to be increased slightly, so that's something that we will want to look out for. But you know what? Wait, I want to read that more. So it's going to output 60 food. Okay, cool. More food. We need it. So let's go ahead and get that built up. Hopefully these people will be a little bit happier. Interesting. Up here, it says to establish a food colony. And I thought that creating this up here with the food district would satisfy that need. Am I wrong? What is a food colony exactly? And a fuel colony. Alright, we'll figure that out. Let's see what this guy here wants to say. Max Horkheimer, 29, he's a researcher, looks at Iceblood members leaving the Institute. They keep looking at my hands. Every day they come and pester me about my work. What are you doing right now? Can we push the other research along? Why are you halting the drafting of the law we discussed yesterday? They want to influence what we do. Icebloods. Pfft. Icebloods want to steer the city closer to their ideals. Well, it sounds like they can go eat shit. Let's see. What do we want to do? How is our housing going? We have 5 people that don't have houses. We might want to look into some more shelter. I believe our hothouse finished upgrading, so we are looking better on food now. What happens if we extend the district? Okay, so if you extend the district, it increases output and provides more building slots. And I think if you add more building slots, then you could add more hothouses, possibly. I'm gonna science that and see what we can do. So let's go ahead and have our food district moved down here. And actually we need to go here. I think we'd be able to do another hothouse if we had 80 heat stamps. Let's go ahead and fast forward so we can build up 80 heat stamps and see if we could populate another hothouse in this district here. Okay. We sure can. We got one more hothouse incoming, so our food needs will be met, which means our people will be a little bit happier there. We will need to work on our materials and our goods, but I think materials will be first because I think you need materials to be able to produce goods from the industrial district that we have here. So right now we have a total output of 20 goods and a demand of 50 materials. So in order to make the industrial district happy, we need to make sure that we have enough materials. Then we'll be able to produce goods. Then the people will be happier. Sue Miller, she kind of just took over the screen here. She's 12 and she's a pupil. She looks angry. Doing her reading assignment. The rabbit took... Okay, I'm not going to read that. Reading's hard, but it's fun. Mabel says that it won't help her in the Frostland. She wants to be a scout one day. Well, good luck reading the maps, is what I told her. One day I'll write books myself, with plenty of princess and no snow. Mandatory school promises a better future for the children of the city. So I believe we already established the rule to do mandatory school. Okay. Had a weird screen going on there for a second. I'm not sure why. Let's go ahead and pause. Looks like we might have some more research that we could do and some council. But we are low on heat stamps. So we might not be able to do much. But let's go ahead and see what we got as far as laws and whatnot. I don't think we need to do anything about funerals just yet. We did our law for the outsiders. Community service. Let's see. Let's see what this is all about. Okay, so there's... Wow. Interesting. It's not just a 50-50 decision here. So you can do expedition support. Everyone must aid expeditions by helping them prepare for their journeys. Exploration time is decreased. City development effort. Everyone must support the extraction work in an effort to gain more resources for the city. Service exemptions. Everyone must volunteer their time outside of work as needed unless they purchase an exemption. Heat stamps. Income increases. Materials increase here. And then we have heat pipe watch. Everyone must inspect the heat pipes in their places of residence, spotting and fixing minor heat leakages around the city. Heat demand is slightly decreased. Interesting. Keep everybody nice and warm. Tough decisions. Now I wonder if you could actually change the laws. It looks like you might be able to, actually. Ah, you can. You can actually go back and change the laws. That's something you couldn't do in the original Frostpunk, was go back and change the laws that you already proposed. So in this one, it looks like you actually can. So you're not stuck with your decision. So if I wanted to choose the ability to make sure everybody's happy and their homes are hot, we could do that one. But right now, I kind of want to see about proposing a law to increase our heat stamp production, because that seems to be the bottleneck in our flow right now. So let's go ahead and vote on this and see where we land. Come on, 51 required. Oh yeah. Yeah, people definitely wanted that law. I see. Cool. So we're gonna get more heat stamps now. So we got plus 15 per week now instead of just 11. Cool. What a beautiful city we're developing here. Very nice. Okay, so squalor is notable. Extremely increased by material scarcity. So we're definitely trying to work on that. It's not going very fast. Let's go ahead and press play here so we can start actually generating more heat stamps. And we're gonna want to focus on developing this area quite a bit more as well. We're gonna hold off on research because I don't necessarily actually, we might want to do this. We might want to do this here. So, massive sawmill in which frozen wood is cut into usable materials without undergoing any treatment, speeding up the process but exposing people to mold. And then machinists, massive sawmill loading frozen wood directly into mulching machines that separate usable materials from waste byproducts. So we get 300 requirement for workforce, 200 materials output, 400 to 300, but we get increased squalor, 60 heat demand, 20 heat demand from this one, and disease. And then we have the ice bloods, which is going to be 400 workforce, 170 materials, increased disease, and 20 heat demand. So 170, 200, 170, 200, 400. So the ice bloods and the foragers are exactly the same, while the machinists are different. I'm not too keen on the ice bloods, but I feel like we need to give them some kind of trust. So I want to go ahead and lean with them on this one and develop this idea. Then we'll start generating more materials. 170 worth, which is going to be good because we are currently at 160 unfulfilled here. Noticing that we are running into an issue with our heat. Provides the warm city, blah blah blah. The generator converts fuel such as coal to heat. Consider upgrading it. to tap different sources and produce more. So what happens when we click on this guy here? So we can do overdrive on this. Doesn't look like we have the steam levels like we had in Frostpunk 1, but one coal converts to one heat. Okay. Would we research how an upgrade here? Oh, I just noticed something. Okay, look, yeah, there is a generator upgrade in this area, but I just noticed there's other tabs down here. Oh, it's a whole other tab of upgrades that we could do. Housing block? Residential tower designed to provide shelter to a large number of citizens in a limited amount of space. Okay. Very, very interesting. It looks like it's somewhat similar between them, but Icebloods has disease is slightly increased. Okay. I don't think that that's something that we need just yet. What's maintenance duty do? Workers who do not meet their quotas must stay after their shifts to perform machinery and infrastructure maintenance. Materials demand is slightly decreased. Resource production efficiency is slightly increased. Okay, let's see what we have in society. Hospitals. Youth. I think it's probably going to be a good idea to get hospitals soon with the cold nearing. Let's see. Young adults participate in volunteering activities under the supervision of elders who teach them moral values. Percentage of active workers is increased. Crime is slightly decreased. Interesting. Oh, I was trying to switch between the other one. Okay. Doesn't look like we can choose the other communities for this one, so you're kind of stuck with the Icebloods. Let's see about hospitals. 200 workforce, 20 heat demand, diseases decreased, and it's going to cost 100 heat stamps to construct. Okay, so the only difference here is the Icebloods, where disease is significantly decreased, but the population growth is slightly increased as well. So we might want to consider going with the Icebloods on this as well. But we need to be careful that we don't put too many upgrades into Icebloods, or else they're going to end up taking over the city, I believe. I don't know if you can just go with one community and run with it, or if you could, or if you need to kind of balance them out so they don't cause any kind of civil wars or anything like that. Still curious about why or how to create a food colony. See here. But hey, we need to possibly expand our coal. Man. Separated families. Steward, a large group of people has set up camp outside the city by one of our checkpoints. They claim to be relatives of outsiders we let in. My daughter is alone in there, said a distressed mother. You need to let me in. She needs me. After checking, we told her that her daughter, a 15-year-old laundress, is safe and doing well, but the mother won't budge. Like her, the others are refusing to leave until they are let in. What should we do? Let's just relax. Okay, actually, let's read this real quick. If someone qualifies for entry, we will let his close relatives in as well. Allow productive outsiders will increase the percentage of active workers in the population less efficiently. Letting relatives in would defeat the entire purpose of selection. Relations marginally improve with Icebloods. Do we want to be the nice guy or be the bad guy? Nah. We're low on food and stuff. Or not food, but coal or whatever. We need to work on our our infrastructure here before we start letting weirdos in. I know they're family, but they, they should have been tough and got in here quicker. All right, what do we need to work on now? Oh, yeah. We need to gather this stuff over here. Let's see if we can go ahead and get another extraction district going. Districts, please. Thank you. Oh, we need 120. We need 120. We're at 100. Let's go ahead and speed up time here a little bit. Let's get our extraction district created here. Let's keep it up against this wall. And we'll end up just kind of moving out this way. But at least we're going to have a new district here for our colony. Let's see what we got. We got coal miner growing, marginally increased by shelter scarcity, extremely increased by heat scarcity. So, I wonder what the best way is to increase our heat. Do we just need to research the upgrade, power generator upgrades? Let's see, we got a chemist here, Dr. Roberta Newman. She is 27 years old. Frightened by growing presence of ice bloods. The city is changing. We started a family here. We bore children. We toiled against the hardships like everybody else. But now these ice bloods, they walk around telling people what to do, what to think. What they spout, though, is utter folly. Against everything that made us, we will not have it. The fate of our children is at stake. We will chart the path for our city. Technocrats have formed in opposition to the Ice Bloods. Okay. That's great. There's always prejudice wherever you go. We got technocrats now. Interesting. So 4 communities that we're going to have to decide between. They like progress, equality, and reason. Machines, automation, and technology is the only path to move beyond survival into prosperity. Equality. Simulations prove that equality of all citizens is the only model that does not ultimately lead to collapse. Reason. Everything can be solved through a rational argument. Reason should guide us through changes we require. They seek to pass development efforts for community service, accept all outsiders, and harvesting funerals. I see. Very, very interesting. I just really wonder, like, what happens if you just go all in on Ice Bloods or technocrats or foragers and machinists? And why do these guys have 3 fists above their heads here? Very, very interesting. All right, so we're just hanging out for a minute while our industrial area populates. But I think we're gonna need to try to somehow expand our coal mining operation as well, because we are looking like we are using more than we're supplying. So where's another coal outpost? One's up here. We're gonna have to build another district up that way. Okay, so we will generate some more heat stamps and get that figured out. Let's see here. Starting to look good on materials, but we still need more. So let's frost break back this way. Actually, can we undo that? Yes, we can. If we right click. And let's start making our way towards this way as well. Cool. So we got a nice little chunk over here. We're going to be able to acquire more extractions for materials. Perfect. I like it. We just need to up our heat stamps to about 120, I believe. Extraction. Oh yeah, we researched a sawmill, so we would be able to upgrade our extraction once we expand. So let's go ahead and expand a little bit here. And what do we need for the sawmill? We need 400 workforce, which we definitely don't have. So that's kind of a bummer. And 80 heat stamps. So, shoot, how do we get our population to grow? I thought we were doing that already. Do we need to build more houses? Possibly. An old enemy, Steward. It was only a matter of time. We had an unusually long streak of mild weather, but now meteorologists are clear. There's a familiar drop in air pressure at higher altitudes. A whiteout is coming. The wind will I can't even read right now, y'all. The wind will cause extreme cold, and the clouds will blot out the sun. Without shelter and ample fuel, our people will be at mortal risk. We have to prepare. A whiteout arrives in 80 weeks. Heat demand will increase greatly during the whiteout. Yeah. Apparently we'll be ready. We're at week 118, day 2. Caps out at 300, so we're 1/3 away, our way through the demo here, the beta. Lack of workforce. There is a lack of spare labor in the city. We're all stretched thin. It may be wise to seek laws or transport structures that will help us get more done. Yes, that's what we need to do. Otherwise, we may have to prioritize what work gets done. Okay, we need more transportation hubs. Why would we forget about that? Where are those at? Logistics? No. Hubs? Hubs, yes. We need 80 heat stamps. Let's fast forward till we get 80 heat stamps. We're gonna... Heat demand is decreased right now, but it's about to get a little chillier out. Okay. We got enough to create air transport. Okay. You create them right on the outside of your districts. So you could create one there. I think that's all you need. Maybe this one will transport it to here, but I think we want it to go here. Let's actually fast forward quite a bit more and see if we can build another one to the industrial district. Here. And maybe that will reduce workforce here and in our extraction district. Due to cold, some of our people have frozen to death. That's kind of crappy. I didn't realize that could have happened already. Where are they freezing to death at? And how do we heat this place up a little bit better? Do I need to research the generator upgrade? Pro game war. Mandatory school. Steward, people are increasingly arguing over the curriculum taught in schools. Some think we should reduce theoretical knowledge and provide more survival training. We're filling these kids' heads with numbers and useless junk, complained an angry trapper. We ought to take them on field trips to hunt. Others argue for the exact opposite. We need to teach children how to think and come up with new solutions instead of perpetuating outdated practices, says the engineer. What should we do? Well, that's a good choice, or just it's a nice decision that we're gonna have to make here. What would we want to do? Let's see. Mandatory schools no longer increase research speed, but provide food instead. Relations slightly improve with foragers and ice bloods. Mandatory school increases research speed even more. Relations slightly improve with machinists, yes, and technocrats. And relationships marginally worsen with all communities. So I'm leaning more towards, let's say, screw the research speed for now, and let's get food and increase relations with foragers and ice bloods. Let's prepare the children. Schools are now focusing on survival. Very nice. Okay. I do not know how to create a food colony though. Let untreated wood sawmill. So we now have 1,000 workforce. We need 80 timestamps. We're gonna be able to create more wood or materials, not wood. Which we're actually doing okay on materials now. We're just scarce on industrial, the goods. We need the goods. Steward, high squalor has deteriorated one of our districts so much it needs repairs to function. Supply enough materials for regular maintenance of the districts, or research other ways of dealing with this problem, or it will happen again. So high squalor is a side effect of having poor goods, right? So why does this need repair? Oh my goodness. Let's go ahead and repair it, I guess. Is it instantly repaired? I think so. What does this do? Oh, it turns it on and off. So it is on now. So we are supplying goods. Great. I didn't realize that we would have to repair districts. So that's new and interesting. All right. Icebloods rallies build support. Steward, the Icebloods have started gathering for rallies supporting your rule, showing off frostbite scars and almost inhuman resistance to cold. They enthrall passers-by with feats of strength and endurance. One of them stripped half naked and wrestled a bear with bare hands. That's pretty intense. Look at these guys are like, why is he fighting a bear? Cold and hard as steel. A man like that could survive anything, said an onlooker. What could we become if we cast away superficial gizmos and rely on inner strength? The Icebloods proclaim several things they believe will improve the city even further. Do you want to support one of them? We can support, promise to research dutiful youth, which you'll have 60 weeks to, okay. These are the things that we need to do. Okay, got it. And these are the repercussions. Okay, we would improve relations with the Icebloods. Here we would... Okay, are these all saying that we would improve relationships? And then we can ruin Iceblood relations here. What do we want to do? Let's research dutiful youth. Where do we do that at? Not here. Society? I don't think that we can do that one yet. Don't see it here. Don't see it here either. Paid essentials and free essentials. Okay. Oh, we might want to propose a law for better goods at this point as well, because we are a little bit behind on our goods. In order to, let's see here. Are we not allowed to? Okay, there it goes. It was not letting me select for a second. In order to overcome scarcity, we will organize our production lines to increase goods production. Would increase significantly. And then we would have the ability to increase our goods demand. Oh no, it would decrease if we did durable. Let's go ahead and go with the mass-produced goods. Vote on that so we can get more goods out. And then if we end up with too many goods later, then we could go ahead and change it back the other way. So I can already see that there's going to be a lot of decision making and then going back and changing those decisions and all that. Hey, Kami. How are you doing? Your relationships with Ice Bloods have deteriorated. They no longer support you enough to rally in your favor. If you improve relations, they might again campaign in your name. I thought we just improved relations with them. Maybe not. What's going on here? Oh, there's rallies in progress at this housing district. Okay. Deaths due to cold. Steward, a recent cold wave has taken many lives in the city. People were found frozen not only in the open streets, but in some houses and workplaces as well. Grief fills the air, and beneath it, an undercurrent of anger. People fear the horror of years past will return under your leadership. They want the council to ensure new laws can help with fighting this crisis. Tensions grow. People will keep freezing to death until cold is brought down. Deaths worsen relations with everyone, and as a result, trust falls. All right. Okay. Let's go ahead and pause there. I think I'm gonna wrap it up right here. There's definitely plenty more for us to do, and 200 more weeks to go, but we've created plenty of districts. We're finding ways to increase our productivity here and there, and soon maybe we'll be able to step outside of our little circle here and start exploring what's outside of our mountain. But yeah, that's to come in the next part, I think. But for now, I'm gonna have to end the stream. So good night, everybody.